we're going to do number 20, okay? Hopefully you got that nice. Alright, so we're going to do number 20. Now, if you look at number 20, and you use a little bit of thinking, you can see that probably the best method would be elimination, okay? But we're asked to use substitution, so for the sake of wanting to show you substitution, I'm going to show you the substitution method, okay? But again, on the test, if you wanted to, you could use elimination, even when you're asked to use substitution, okay? It's multiple choice. Scantron doesn't tell me what method you use. Alright, so let's look at this. To do substitution, I have to have one variable by itself. I don't, okay? So I need to get one variable by itself. So I'm going to pick a problem and solve for a variable, okay? So I'm going to look at this problem here. Let's look at this first equation, okay? I have negative x minus 3y equals 5. And I need to get a variable by itself. The variable I'm going to get by itself is x because there's not much hanging around x, okay? So let's move the 3y. I'm going to use the black. We'll move this negative 3y by adding 3y to both sides. Okay? These cancel. Again, these are not like terms, so we can't combine them. We just have to put them next to each other. Okay? So here we get 5 plus 3y, or you could say 3y plus 5. And then you're left with negative x down here. Alright? Still don't have x by itself. Need to get rid of the negative 1 that's in front of it here. I'm going to do that by dividing everything by negative 1. Alright? So these cancel, and we're left with x equals 5 divided by negative 1 is negative 5. 3 divided by negative 1 is negative 3. And now we have one equation with one variable by itself, namely x. Okay? So we have x by itself. And so now, what this tells me is that everywhere I see an x, I can substitute it, because it is equal, with negative 5 minus 3y. Okay? And again, just to kind of give you another example, if I tell you I ran 1 mile, what I'm telling you is that I ran 5,280 feet, because those have the same value. Okay? One has the number 1, one has the number 5,280, but they mean the same thing. Okay? So this says x equals all of this. So what that tells me is I can take this equation, which is negative x minus 8y equals 5. And everywhere I see an x, I can substitute it with all of this stuff. So this is going to go into the x. Okay? So it's going to go there. So we're going to go negative and everything x. X is negative 5 minus 3y. Okay? Minus 8y equals 5. Now this is tricky because it's had this little negative out here. Make sure you put everything that is x in parentheses, and then you're going to have to distribute that negative. Right? So I'll go back to my black. So negative, distribute the negative. I get 5 plus 3y minus 8y equals 5. So this is a long way to do this problem. Okay? This is a long way to do substitution. Alright? So now we're solving for y. We can combine these like terms. 3y minus 8y is negative 5y. Still got the 5 over here. If we subtract 5 from both sides, it'll really get rid of this 5 and this 5. And we just get negative 5y equals 0, which means y equals 0. Okay? And I went through that kind of fast. It's 9 o'clock at night, so I'm going fast. Alright, so we found out y is 0. Remember, my solution is always a coordinate. Alright, my y is 0. Now I need to figure out what my x is. And we're going to do that by plugging it into one of these equations. And what I'm actually going to do, though, is I'm going to take this equation down here, because I already have x by itself, and so all I need to do is simplify this to figure out what x is. And so if x equals negative 5 minus 3y, and my y is 0, then my x equals negative 5 minus 3 times 0, okay? Which means this goes away, and I just have x equals negative 5. Okay? And again, you can always check your answer by plugging 5 in for x, or sorry, negative 5 in for x here, and 0 in for y, and you should get the same thing. Which makes a lot of sense, because if I plug in 0 for y, this goes away, and this goes away. So really all I'm left with is with the opposite of x equals 5. Well, the opposite of -5 is 5 in both of them. So we know we did it right.